So we will start. Good morning, dear students. I hope I'm audible. Good morning to our guest speaker, Mr. Sheetal Paknikar, and also his entire team of 72010 Network.
Good
We
morning.
are, we feel honored to have you here with us and share your experiences. So, my dear participants, please interact with Sir. He's here to, help you and guide you in the career of advertising. So it's a request to all the participants to kindly unmute yourself. You can on your videos and as much as possible, please interact with Sir. Yes, so today we are here to listen and learn on careers in advertising, art, and communication design for the digital era by Mr. Sheetal Paknikar, the founder, managing director, and CEO of 72010 Network, a media, sports, and IMC consulting organization. He holds a master's degree in visual communication from the Industrial Design Center at IIT Mumbai. Our speaker has had a distinguished career in the field of advertising. With an experience of almost more than 3 decades in advertising, branding, graphic, digital designing, films, content development, and media startups consulting, he has been associated with well-known brands and has a career working for the Times of India, National Films Development Corporation, Maya Entertainment, International, Before You Television Network, Mukta Arts Limited, and Focus Communication. Sir has closely worked with reputed filmmakers like Ketan Mehta, Subhash Ghai, Nagesh Kuknur, and Dr. Jabbar Patel. He has worked with Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan as well. He has written and directed corporate films, ad films, documentaries, and short videos. Today, he's working with reputed and international MNCs in corporate communication as films. Sir had actually told me to keep it very short, but he has a lot of experience, and I'm so sorry, sir, I cannot keep it short. Last year, he was awarded with the Man of Excellence Award 2020 for outstanding performance in professional achievement and inspiring social contributions from the Indian Achievers Forum. This year, he has been featured in Business Connect Special July 2021 issue CEOs of the Year. Sir, congratulations to you and your entire team. There are many more awards as well. Today, he is on the board of studies of leading educational institutions in Mumbai for advertising art, information design curriculum, and storytelling for films and audiovisual. Sir is also very much interested into music. He has worked with clients like HDFC, Mahindra, Capgemini, and so on and so forth. The list is really endless. So without much ado, sir, I want you to take over the session, and we are very keen on listening to you. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Good morning. Hello. It's very humbling, and it feels good also that so many years of working, and when you get an introduction like this, thank you, Rima ma'am. You made me feel like a celebrity, actually.
You are, sir. We are
Yeah.
impressed by the work that you
Yeah.
have
So
done.
if I can be a celebrity, anybody can be a celebrity. So that is for all the students here. It is actually very. I'm feeling very happy to be here. Thank you. Firstly, thank you, Rima ma'am, for inviting me. Thank you. I would like to say a special thank you to Mala ma'am as well, because she also had spoken to me, and we have been discussing for a long time that if I can conduct something for the students. And dear students, welcome all of you. I'm very happy to be here. Also would like to thank. I would like to finish the vote of thanks first. So thank you to all the organizers, to the college, and to you and your department, Rima ma'am, for organizing this. Um, what I can do is we'll start with a little context and background. And before we begin, I would just like to say that this we have 1.5 hours, no, Rima ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's very difficult for me to, like, I want to say so much, I want to present so much, and there are so many things that we are working on currently, and I have done in the past. Of course, it's not possible to touch upon everything, and it was difficult for me to actually put down some notes. This PDF file that is being shared, we are a communications organization, and you should be expecting a fantastic PowerPoint with audio, video, all that. But these are just notes, and I think it is very important that these you understand, because this presentation is for you. I will briefly touch upon what we have been doing, what I have done in the past, and I'll try to keep it as brief and precise as possible so that we spend more time on you trying to figure out how to make a career. What are the opportunities that are there available today in advertising, art, communication, design. Okay, so let's begin with the context and background. Am I audible? I hope I'm audible, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You're audible.
Yeah, sure. So to begin with, I think, can you just make it full screen, Rima ma'am? Because it's a little small in point size.
1 second. Yes.
Yeah, I would also, before I forget, because I said the vote of thanks in the beginning only. My father is attending this call from Goa. Okay, my father is the ex vice chancellor of the Goa University, and he's on this call as well. My colleagues are on the call. My family is on the call. I would like to thank everyone. Actually, they are very curious to see how I'm going to present this. So they will also point out. So dear students, I have my family who are my supporters and my critics. So you don't have to worry. If I go wrong somewhere, I will be able to learn from the feedback that they give me. So just wanted to thank everyone who is there on the call. Okay, now we can start.
Yes. Welcome
yes.
to all of you. On behalf of me, my department, and my students, we welcome all of you. Thank you.
Yes. So we start with the context and background, which is basically we are speaking about communication. Okay. Now, you students are learning advertising. Advertising is one of the forms of communication, and we call it, because I have done my bachelor's in applied arts also as a background. So therefore, my 5 years I've spent in advertising art. So that is what I learned in college, and then I have mastered in visual communication from the Industrial Design Center at IIT in Mumbai. So that's a postgrad. So I've been fortunate that I have been able to blend a knowledge of art, and with the Industrial Design Center and the IIT background, I have a little bit of a technology background as well. So that is how I have developed where I am today, and that is how we are doing a lot of work today. And I would like you all to understand that in the beginning itself, that since you all are here to make a career in this field, it is a blend of, I believe that it's a blend of art and science today. Because of the technology era, it's becoming a blend of art and science. Okay, so the first point is traditional and contemporary. Traditionally, what is the communication? How do we communicate? That's the traditional approach, and that is to do with messaging and content. Okay, contemporary communication today is about using technology and tools. So a lot of development has happened. Every field, as we know, every field naturally evolves with as dynamics change. Today we have a lot of technology-enabled disruption. I hope everyone has heard about the term disruption, and that is something which is often used today. And we as advertising art people and communication designers will keep hearing this term disruption. So technology-enabled disruption, which has created a revolution. No bigger example than the internet itself. No bigger example than how we are all connected today by our smartphones. No bigger example than how the phone has become a mini personal computer, and going forward, and even now, it's also a camera. So that's something which is a huge development from when we started our careers. With SLR cameras, and we learned photography from the basics, and how to use a camera. Now you have in your hand, you have a powerful camera. So that is the disruption that has happened in the field. It has evolved. It has evolved over the last 3 decades. Okay, so in the initial years, as you would have studied in the initial years, content and creativity were differentiators. It was the content that was the differentiator. We had to think of ideas. That was the early era. Today, technology, tools, and technique. So technology, tools, and technique have leveled the playing field for everyone today. So today, everybody has the same. Everybody is using the same technology and the same tools. So it has leveled. Anybody can today enter our field. In the past, we needed to have a specialized background. Today, there are a lot of people also who are doing very well and successful, who have maybe do not have a background in advertising art, but are still using technology and applications to actually communicate. So that's how technology and tools have leveled the playing field. Whereas initially, in the traditional, when we go back into the years, we see how content and creativity, they were the differentiators. Okay. Can you come down, ma'am, Rima ma'am?
Yes, sir.
So briefly, the golden era of art painting, many years ago. Then we have the golden era of good old advertising, which was, in the 90s, 80s, and the 90s. Then we had the golden era of printing and publication, followed by the golden era of filmmaking. Then you had television, and come down, ma'am. And today we have the era of digital communication. So this is the progression for you to easily understand how things have naturally progressed and evolved. Okay. So when we say that today we are in the golden era of digital communication, it is all about using the tools and basically have a story to tell. So it is storytelling at its core. When we say advertising, when we say communication, when we say design, when we say filmmaking, anything you take under the communication domain, basically it's about telling a story and how to use the apps that are available today. So frankly, and the great news for everyone is that this is the best of all worlds. So we can have a creative differentiator, we can have a content differentiator. At the same time, we can use tools and reach out to everyone. So it's today, the era is of actually combining the best of all worlds. So this is the context for which the webinar is there today, and this is what I wanted you all to actually be in sync with what we'll see further ahead. So today's webinar will basically just be a tip of the iceberg. There are lots of things that you can actually think about. So what we can do is there will be a few case studies depending on how we how this presentation goes forward. I may skip some, I will show you all some. Okay, so this basically I want to give you an idea of our work, which is the 72010 network. Also, that will enable you to, ma'am, can you come down? So some broad choices you could make to decide your career in advertising and media, depending upon your aptitude, interest, and specialization. So basically, you can go through this, you can understand what I'm speaking, and you could note down some broad choices you could make for a career in this field. Okay, interest in whatever is your interest and specialization. Yes, ma'am, can we go ahead? It's very important to know now, because I'm speaking so much and because I've been given such a big introduction and because I've been working for 30 years now. So who are we? So I would like to briefly say, what is 72010? What is 72010? If you go onto our website, you may be faced with the question, what all do we do? So are we an advertising agency? Are we a film production house? Are we a graphic design studio? What are we? Are we a digital marketing, IMC consulting, sports consulting organization? My God, so many things. So I would just like to say that, frankly, we are shades of everything. So we do not fall under one particular bracket. We are not known in the industry as only one specialized service. We offer many services, and there is a reason to it. So we are shades of everything. Yes, ma'am, can you scroll down, please? Yeah, just quick question. Can everybody see the point size? I hope it's readable, Rima ma'am.
Yes,
It's
sir.
fine, right?
Yes, sir. I've zoomed it. Yes.
Yeah.
Students, is this visible? Can you read? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
because I guess many people might be on the mobile phones also. So please, I am, you can hear also and you can read also. So yes, we are shades of everything. Basically, we integrate. We integrate is that we combine and we include. That is our specialization. So what do? We study the communication objectives. Like if we are given any communication task, if it is to design an ad, if it is to design a logo, if it is to design uh, anything from traditional communication to social media posts, we understand first or we study what are the communication objectives, then we design the message, then we combine and use different mediums to reach our target audience. So I hope this is very clear because you all are already students of communication. So this is what how we do our stuff, which is study objectives, design the message, and combine and use different mediums to reach our target audience. We are a network, so this is an important outlook. So in today's digital era, basically, if we are constantly communicating, we can learn more about communication as we keep meeting and talking to people, we keep networking, we keep connecting. So one of the biggest things, if you want to make a career in this field, is that you have to constantly meet people and you have to constantly practice communicating with everyone. So this is the our philosophy, our company philosophy, and this is how we are still building our network. So 72010 network. So it's a network of like-minded people and diverse professionals. There there could be some of you all who are looking at openings in the media. So we also have opportunities. So we are building our network. Okay, it's been 10 years since we started the company. Yes, in simple words, ma'am, can you please scroll down? Please scroll down. Yeah, in simple words, we are what we call communication design problem solvers. Everybody is familiar with problems. Everybody has problems in every field, and we we believe that we are here to solve a communication design problem. That is what we believe we can do. We design identities. So basically, it starts from designing identities, write stories, social media campaigns, films, videos. It's just about anything that is related to communication design. Everything falls under communication design. And whenever you have any assignment that what are you out in the industry to do? You are basically out to study a problem, which could be anything to do with from selling to brand building to whatever else. But yes, you have to first identify what is the objective, what do you want to do. So that you have to be very clear about. Yes, and go ahead. Brief about who am I. I've been lucky and fortunate, and it's very important for me to go through all this and for me to tell you, because I have made a career in this field in trying to learn about everything that is available. So probably, I've been lucky and fortunate also. I don't know how many people like me in the industry today who have basically experimented. I have experimented with my career. So, which is what I want to tell everyone, that if you experiment with your career, you can have good fun. So yes, basically I worked in publication design, film and television production, infographics, animation design, everything, a little bit of everything I have managed to do. The joke is that I hold the degree of Master of Design, but the joke is that you can say that I'm a jack of all and Master of Design. So I would prefer also to look at it that way. I have had a great time. It's a broad career path that basically you can note this, and if at all there is some way that what I'm going to present today, if some part of it inspires you, some part of it you can take and you can say, okay, even I would like to do this. So it is that you can definitely, as a communicator, figure out how everything works, because it's very important. And this is where we are today, because what is it that we as a company today look at a candidate when we are recruiting the candidate? So we are looking at a multitasker. Actually, we are looking at a generalist. Today, most design schools and advertising courses and everybody today is evolving and realizing that it is about being a generalist. Specialize anyway. You have to specialize in something, but you have to understand how everything works. So that is what even we look for. So we want a person who's enthusiastic and clear about how to meet the objective of communication for our clients. The reason I'm saying this is that we have opportunities. So if you understand this, then it becomes very easy for you also to tailor make your resume when you go for a job. When you go for a job in this field, okay? Yes, quickly 72010. Why the name? I don't know how many of you all are intrigued by the name, because we are advertising students. So 72010. I must share with you quickly that even today, a lot of people find it very interesting that we have a name like this. Half of them, of course, also we run the risk because they get it wrong. They said, somebody reads it as 72010 if it is numbers. Somebody reads it as 7020. So 72010 is the name of the company. And where did this name come from? Because we are a communications brand, so we start with our name itself, which is an interesting case study. So we began in it's very interesting actually on hindsight, because as I was given this task of presenting to you, I was just going through what happened in the year 2010. The year was quite significant actually. So we had an engineering disruption. We had the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the world's tallest building. That was in 2010. Then we had the Apple iPad, which was launched in 2010. Can you believe it? Just 11 years ago. It seems it seems way back now. Then we had Uber and Ola, which were part of the business disruption, where without owning a taxi, you can run a taxi service. That's the innovative business model. So Uber and Ola, can you believe it, launched in 2010. And in 2010, there was also Instagram, which I'm sure all of you all are, very familiar, and you all use Instagram. New age AR and VR disrupt. Basically, these were on hindsight, I found all this was very important. 2010 year was a great year. And we started in July 2010, which is actually one of the reasons behind the name. 7 is the month of July and 2010 is the year. So 7/20/10. So beginning with the name, dear students and dear all who are attending, we wanted to remain in the minds of people. Or in the beginning, I remember the first 2 years, as a startup, we did not have too much work, and we were called number wala agency. So somebody, I remember us getting one of the first leads that we got was that the person at the client's end, one fine day found out about us and said, "वो number वाला agency को बुलाओ, वो नाम पता नहीं क्या है, वो कुछ number है उसका." So it left a mark. So it was a very interesting. We start with the name itself, which we have as our brand name. And I would just like to say that when we started in 2010, it was basically to bring together professionals by choice, who could blend analytics and creativity and art and technology. This was my vision 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Yes, man, we just go down. And today we continue to build a network of digital artists community. So basically 7/20/10 we have digital artists working, communication professionals, storytellers, and we are consultant problem solvers and integrated marketing communicators. So we want to say, I would like to say upfront that the best part is that we have the world as our playground. So we don't have to worry. We are not into one small thing. We love the challenge of trying to do animation one day and trying to make a film the next day, or design a social media the next day. So it really gives everybody who's working with us, a nice challenge to learn and to actually apply what you have learned in college as well. Yes. Okay, can we now? I think it has been a long time that I've been speaking. So publication design, let's start with the first one. Rima, I request you to, just open that flip book. You can click, yeah, click on that. Yeah.
Is my screen visible? It's visible, no, sir?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Can you see the flip book?
Yes. So um, this is a coffee table book. It's a coffee table book in a publication design that 72010 has designed for one of our European clients, Henkel. And this is a great example of, you know, everything from storytelling to data. It's basically about all this corporate social responsibility initiatives by this company, and everything from the photography in this book to writing the content to the design to the design of the book and the printing as well. So it is a start to finish job of uh, an example of publication design. And this is a digital version that you are seeing. It's a flip book. So we also have and we have a print version. So the print version is the one that we converted into. We had a flip book version. So can you just flip through the pages, and I would like you all to just see it without getting too much into detail. So yes, ma'am, you can keep flipping.
Okay. I think now it is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. Okay, you can see the full book now. Yeah.
We'll
So
go
this is a,
next.
yeah, you can just keep scrolling because not much I want to say. You can just have a look at the what we have done. Basically, all the right hand side, the photographs, and the left hand side, you have the information, which is, it's part of information design. One only thing I would like to touch upon here is that this is graphic design in terms of the layout. This is content design in terms of the writing, and this is also photojournalism. So on the right hand side, if you see all the images, we have traveled to many places, and we have actually uh, shot the photographs, done the photography in a photojournalistic way, so that when you have the coffee table book in your hands, you would like to, it becomes a visual experience. Okay. Yes, ma'am, you can flip. So very interesting assignment this was, which gave us, this was a 6 month, just for the information of students. We took 6 months to do this, and it's a profitable book. So normally a profitable book, requires time to research, to compile all the information, to actually, um, you know, the team travels, and we decide, how much of it to present. Yes, you can keep flipping, ma'am. Just for the interest of everyone, this is not a template based design. This is design which we have done. So these days, because a lot of templates are available, you can also use a template. But this was actually we believe in having a bold and a simple approach. So um, we don't have to intricate designs. Almost all our style of design is very simple and bold, and uh, very easy to the eyes. The captions are something which, a lot of creativity in the captions as well, the photo captions. Um,
Can I zoom one so that students can see the
you sure
captions?
can you sure can zoom. No, not a problem, ma'am. I'm just keeping track of the time. It's 11:38 already.
Okay, okay. Just a little.
Yeah,
Because you're explaining, no? So
yeah,
that
yeah.
is why. Okay. I'll go next.
Yeah, I think it's just zoom out again. Yeah. Okay, so I think I can just quickly flip through. We'll finish with this. So this is the publication design example for you, a case study. I think let's move on. And I will move on quickly because I want to show you all other things also. Eh, Just for your information, also some of these photographs are also clicked by me. So as the managing director, I am also working. Uh, I'm also trying to be a photographer and writer, and I also try to do all these things. Okay, can we go on to the next? So after publication design, next we have. Okay, so I already explained everything. Let's go ahead. Film production. Film production is one of our main areas. We have been doing a lot of work in films. I have had, I've directed corporate videos and documentaries and all that. Case study here would be, I would love to show you at least some, maybe like 1 minute of an Ayodhya documentary that we shot 2-3 years ago, which has been released online now. But I really am. Can we do one thing? Can I just skim through the rest of the let everyone see what all is the scope, Rima ma'am, because otherwise we'll be left with no time.
You want me to show them the
Yeah,
unexplored?
I think no. I think we'll see it last. We'll see it last. We'll
Okay,
break with that. Yeah.
okay, okay.
So I want them, all of them, to actually see where all they can make a career, because that's what we are here for. Actually, I'm not here to only show the work. So. Yeah, so the documentary, I'll just quickly touch upon the aspects. We'll see it if we have time later. Script writing is one thing you can get into, storytelling, then there is storyboarding, then there is production. In production, there is cinematography. Again, I want to just quickly run through this because I'm assuming that most 80-90% of the attendees today are familiar with this. I apologize to those who are not familiar, like my father, but I will just quickly go forward. Yes, so a film has so many aspects, and it's fascinating. I mean, again, you all can make a career even after you have done your advertising course. There are ad films that you could work in, different aspects of ad films, from production to pre-production to post-production. Making of Simba commercials also. Rima ma'am, you have that YouTube
Yes,
link. That is also an
yes,
amazing
yes.
one for everyone to see. But let's see it later. Let's just go to the third one. Let's go to post production. Can I just ask everything? Am I going too fast? Is it okay with everyone? Can you just ask, ma'am? Can you answer on your
Yes,
chat?
students, y'all can unmute and speak. You can please answer to Sir's question.
Is it too fast? Am I going too fast?
No, sir, it's proper.
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Then we'll proceed. If everyone is okay, we'll proceed. Yes. So, thank you, everyone. I like the no sir, no sir, no sir. Yes sir. Can we proceed? Yeah. Nice. Everyone is at least participating. Okay. So post production is another field that you can make a career into. Um, so many aspects in post production as well. There is animation, there is visual effects. You have film, you have television. If Rima ma'am is like happy with my presentation, maybe you can call me over and maybe I can explain later also. But there are so many aspects. So here there is a case study which Rima ma'am, I would like to show. I will show it from my system. But again, in the end,
Okay,
okay. So it's a case study
okay,
on what we have actually. Dear all, we have recently worked on a instructional. There are a lot of instructional videos today, and everybody knows how big the brand Byju's is in education, in education technology, in edutech. So Byju's is today now synonymous, and they have so much content in instructions in different subjects that we are teaching children. So using animation, using a whole lot of communication, whatever we study, So we have been also in this space in our own way, and recently we have been working on a instructional videos for a ballet school, teaching ballet to children, an online ballet school. Very interestingly, the entire thing has been completely shot in a virtual green environment, and it's a lot of hard work, and very, it's fascinating to create something when we are shooting against a green screen, um, and add a background which is a designed background. It could be an illustration, it could be an animation. So we create the entire environment in post production, and we shoot the entire production. The shooting is done on a green screen, which some of you all will be familiar with. So in this thing, the challenge for us as communicators is, how to structure the content. Like, for example, how do you break it up into classes? What do you teach in each class? So it's 18 to 20 minutes of every episode. Every video is 18 to 20 minutes. So then there is concept art. So you have to basically conceptualize where is the location. Like, it's a fantasy world created for children we can transport them into a fantasy world with illustrations and character design, compositing and animation and editing. Finally, you have to all put it together. So editing is also very interesting and a very well-to-do career today. So some of you all who have learned advertising, if you all also are interested in editing, it's a huge field today. Editing is required you will soon have, and you already have, apps in which you can edit your own content and present it. So that's the other scope of to make a career in editing and post-production. Okay, animation is also one career which you have heard about. Okay, so then we'll go next. The fourth one, I would like to come to digital and social media, which is relevant today for the digital world today. We have case studies here. I can show you all so much work that we have done in this field in the last 2-3 years. We have really done a lot of work for our corporate clients because of the COVID, because of the pandemic. Employee engagement had to be at its highest, and because everybody was working from home. So we as a integrated marketing communications company, our clients wanted us to make videos, wanted us to make campaigns for their internal purpose. They wanted motivational material. So we had to design, different creatives. Basically, again, I will show you all 1 or 2 examples in this. Basically, yes, what are the 4 points that we try to address in this particular, because digital and social media design is the future, and this is where almost all of you all will graduate, and when you come into the industry, you will be faced with this. Topical messaging and motivation, quick engagement ideas, and short attention span design. So here is where it's a test of your creativity, because today, as you yourself are experiencing, we all are experiencing that nobody has the patience to even read for 2 minutes. So we are all suffering from an attention disorder, and it's the times that we live in. So everybody's attention span is so short. So as communicators, it is a real challenge. Believe it. You test yourself for whatever you have done. You show it to people and find out how many people can look at it and tell you all what they saw. It's so difficult to keep attention of people for a period above maybe 30 seconds. 30 seconds also, if you sit and watch something, it's a huge thing. Today, of course, we as a company are trying to address this, trying to figure out how to, design short content as well, and also how to address long content. But anyway, this is the latest challenge that you will face. So whatever you have studied in college, whatever you are studying now, and your initial years in these next 10 years, you must have heard about user experience and user interface design. UX UI is the trending thing. You have social, you have digital marketing, Everybody is into digital marketing. These are jargons and words used left, right, and center today. So exciting times for us as communicators, exciting times for you because you are going to pass out and you are going to be in industry. However, remember that what you have learned, you will really have to be creative in its application. So that's where all of it is going to be used. And you can choose. So basically, if you just see an overview, there were 4 things that we discussed today. I've gone from publication design and come to digital social media design. Ma'am, can you go down? Yes, so trending careers today. What is the time I'm keeping? 11:50. Okay. Just a minute. Give me a minute, please. Yeah, so trending careers. Again, everybody is familiar, more or less familiar with most of these terms. I've just made a list of them down so that, as a checklist. So digital marketer, social media manager, content editor, media influencer. There is a field, there's talent management, celebrity management. Very interesting. Again, even if you're an advertising person, you can still do this. There is digital data analysis required. So this is again a science and art, marrying science and art, and finding out what the consumers are seeing today online. Then there is storyteller, there's content curator. I've even put something like a sound engineer. Even a sound engineering is a good field today, good career option in communication. I hope everyone knows sound engineering means that today, if I sing, I can't sing to save my life, but the sound engineer can make me sound like a singer. So that's an amazing field as well. So music programming, you can have digital music today. That's an amazing thing as well. I have put it as overall part of what is trending today. Brand strategists. Well, you might be familiar with this, where you can actually strategize and think what the brand, first of all, how to build a brand and then how to take it ahead. You have YouTubers, you have vloggers, which is video bloggers. I'm sure many of you all you may be having your YouTube channels, and if you all are already into that. Video blogging is again very, very trending. Then you have augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. You have experience artists. Some of these terms even I've tried putting it down, that you could be called this tomorrow, an experience artist, a UX UI designer, an application designer. There are video editors. There is character actors. You have a lot of people today who are playing multiple roles on a YouTube channel. There you have funny content which you consume, and you have videos that go viral on your WhatsApp and all that. Then there are voicing and audio artists. So these are audiobooks. Audiobooks is the future probably also. So lots of people can actually look at that also as a career. Recruiters in the communication industry look at all of you to fit in these categories. Basically, research, study, prepare, and understand a brief. Here you have careers in client servicing and brand strategy. Then you can fit yourself in a creativity and innovation area, basically to problem solve. Here you have a content writer, presenter, and the list just goes on. Project management and business development for lead generation and marketing. I can speak about this, it'll take time. I don't want to get into it. It's only for your note as a checklist. I think Rima ma'am, you can later on, you all can discuss this later, but I wanted students to understand that what all can you do. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I want you all after this presentation to feel that, wow, I'm in a field where I can do lots of things. Yeah, okay. So if you're upskilled in the digital workflow, then you can be self-employed. A huge opportunity to be self-employed today, everyone. You can really, really do amazing stuff on your own. You can be very well self-employed, and there's partial employment available. There is work from home, remote employment, so many. Actually, that is something which COVID has also contributed to in the last 2 years. So some of the new things have also have opened up. So upskilling in the digital workflow is very important. If you all have so far been learning traditional you have learned traditional advertising in college, and then digital workflow process also you all have to learn. So that is something that is the future for you. Yes, go down. In summary, bird's eye view, career scale. So again, let's just take a pause. Let's just take a deep breath because lots of information that you have got. This is a bird's eye view. Simple. What to say. Okay. So, dear all, please ask yourself, do you have a content storytelling aptitude? Ask yourself, are you a storyteller? Ask yourself, do you know how to present? Okay, so can you make a presentation? So do you have a design and communication aptitude? What are you good at? Are you good at tools? Some of you all will be very good. You all will be technically driven. You all may be great at using software. Okay, so ask yourself, is that where you want to make a career? You can make a career in that also, software and applications. Have you learned the latest tools, for AR, VR? All these things are upcoming. So find out what all can you do in this space. Artificial intelligence, AI is taking over the world. So you will have to just imagine that you are really empowered and enabled because you have the basics of communication you have studied. You have studied the basics of advertising. Imagine that you can blend it with technology and you will be a powerful person. What medium excites you? Ask yourself what medium excites you. Print, films, television. They say that the era of print, I said the golden years of print. Yes, print medium is almost like, I won't say it is gone, it is still there, but the golden years have passed by. But yes, does that excite you? You can always still figure out how much of print do you want to be in. Films is something that is, you can make a film on your mobile phone today. Can you imagine? I mean, you can be a filmmaker. You have television as well as a career. There are so many careers available on television, from designing logos. You have many programs, and you have a news channel. You can just go on. Internet. Basically, what medium excites you? So you can decide this. How to package and promote. Do you have a marketing and mass communication aptitude? So are you a good? Do you love to speak, and you love to you think you can market your skills? Do you have a new age skill of, you can learn digital marketing and social media management? So yes, can we go down? I guess this is it. This was informative. I am saying hope this was informative. It was only information, and I hope it will help you in deciding a career. Before I finish, I would like to actually say that we are looking for interns and freshers to work with us. So that's a opportunity that you have. We are looking for people. If you're interested, you can drop a mail. I have given the details to Rima ma'am. There are some of my colleagues also on this webinar. Akshay and Sanjay, I think, are on there. I think the others, I don't know who else is there. But yes, you can reach out also. And I'm done with all these notes that I've had specially prepared for you, so that you have, in so much time, at least you feel that there is a lot of things that you can do. That was my idea in making this presentation. Rima ma'am, if we can now you can play some part of the Ayodhya film.
Yes, sir.
And whatever time is left, I don't mind if those links, they can see our work. We don't have to see our work right now, in case anybody, if people want to ask questions, we can open it up to questions right now. Or if you want to take a break from and don't want to see my face, you can play one of the, you can play any of the things, and just, I'm going to put off my camera now, and I'm going to just mute myself. Okay. Thank you everyone for a patient here. We can see some of the work, and then I'll take questions. Okay.
Okay, sir. I hope students, you can see my screen.
Rima
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
Rima ma'am,
Yes, yes,
just
sir.
scroll. Yeah, just don't go through all these titles. It's a they can see it later. It's a YouTube. It's there on YouTube. Just go a little ahead. I'll tell you where to play it from. Just play it directly from the visuals,
A
from the
day
last
that
one. Stop.
begins
Go.
and
Go. Come back.
ends
Come
with
back. Come back. Just go a little back. Ah, you can play it from.
This?
Yeah, you can play it from.
Okay, okay.
And play it full screen, ma'am.
It's full screen only, sir.
Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay.
Imagine this, a day that begins and ends with a chilly breeze on the banks of a holy river. The icy silence interrupted now and then by a loudspeaker that gently gets your attention to protect your belongings from thieves and monkeys. If you are looking to live every moment of a 2 to 3 day weekend filled with history, mythology, and spirituality, check this fascinating story of India's relatively unexplored spiritual destination, Ayodhya, the much discussed religious place of Hindu pilgrimage in Uttar Pradesh in the north of India. Away from the media spotlight, from the relentless political focus on the 25-year-old dispute of the Ram Janmabhoomi, there are many aspects of modern Ayodhya that continue to exist. In fact, even fly free of expectation, almost akin to a live Ram Leela.
जय रघुनंदन दशरथ नंदन कौसल्या सुत भव भय भंजन लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न भाई जानकी संग हर्षि उर लाइ माता पूज्य सुमित्रा कैकेयी परम मित्र सुग्रीव कहाई लंकापति रावण संहारे सकल लोक सह अवध पधारे अवधपुरी के राम बसैया हनुमत नित पड़े है पैया चलो अयोध्या चलो अयोध्या.
For the record, according to Google, Ayodhya is a holy Indian city that is identified with the legendary city of Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Ram and setting of the epic Ramayana. At the Ram Katha Museum in Ayodhya, there are 5 visually intriguing depictions of the Ramayana: Thai, Cambodian, Madhubani, Rajasthani, and Bengali. The accuracy of this identification is central to the Ayodhya debate. Archaeological and literary evidence suggests that the site of present-day Ayodhya had developed into an urban settlement during the Gupta period of the 5th and 6th centuries BCE.
Ramayana is a Itihas. Itihas, or we can translate that as a history. It's also Arsha Kavya, just like Mahabharata is. And what is the purpose of Arsha Kavya? Arsha Kavya essentially captures the historical moments of our
Yes, sir.
civilization.
I think you
and
can
the
pause. You can
objective
let
is
students
to
read
inspire
later.
us.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just to say, students, quickly, what all have we done in this? We have done everything from writing the script to visualizing to storyboarding to directing this documentary. Everything this has been done for this was released in the US in 2019. So it is a film which we shot in 2018. We spent 15 days in Ayodhya, and everything from we used a drone to shoot. So it's a 43-minute documentary. For those of you all who are interested, it's already there on YouTube. You can definitely see it on YouTube at your leisure. Okay. Can we now go to the making of the commercials?
The Simba marketing
Yeah,
one?
the Simba.
Simba
one.
making.
Yeah.
Simba Cement, the strength and pride of Kenya.
Okay, Rima,
Yes, sir.
stop. Just pause. Is this the resolution? Just go to the resolution. Is it in? It's 720p. Just check the settings.
Yes, sir.
Quality 720p. No, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And action!
We were trying to create distinct look for both the films. One is a very corporate looking film and one is slice of life from Kenya, from one of the Masai Mara villages.
Till that day the shoot was over, everybody was looking back to me and saying, what is going to happen? What is going to happen?
We were in India and we made it look like Africa.
In terms of what we were trying to achieve, I think we have.
I really think that, everybody's done a fantastic job. We have created something which is really nice, which will be noticed on Kenyan television. The corporate film location was, we shot it against the skyline of Nariman Point, and we have just kind of removed all the buildings and we have created a contemporary landscape.
I think it was easier for them that we shot in a real location and they could just replicate that information in the plates.
From day one I said, this is the outdoor location. Outdoor location gives you natural lighting. And we as an artist, we get the right perspective. Each frame takes 3 to 4 hours just to render one frame.
The first film shows the usage of the cement across different professionals using the brand Simba. There is an architect, there is an engineer, and there's a builder.
We shot the live action in the studio, but all the backgrounds and everything were created later in post.
We spent a lot of time in the post-production. Post-production took us more than a month actually.
In the beginning I thought it would probably be a 3-4 day shoot somewhere outdoor in a in a landscape which resembled the African landscape and the grass.
When we say Africa, it has its own taste, its own look and feel. The tree is totally different. And to recreate over here from shooting in location in Mumbai was very scary to us. So we first only put our choice that shoot it on a blue screen and we will create it.
Generally, the norm here is people try to do too many things, When I saw the films for the first time, I saw them with Sheetal. As we were watching the films, he was saying, this is how I would want it to be. So what's happening here is in the beginning, in terms of ambience, we have that little village and forest vibe happening. Then after that, we have the storm. Both Sheetal and Arun wanted, when the last thunder comes and the hut sort of, blows away and all, they wanted that to be really pronounced. So this is what happens later.
The second film is a completely experimental, very nice and funny. It's got a humor bent to it. We've tried to create a Masai Mara village in Mumbai, and we did a lot of referencing and we are very happy with the result.
Working with Sheetal sir was absolutely a charm because he has given us the full liberty to work on this project.
For us, it was trying to not get into each other's space, give each other equal freedom and trying, everybody's inputs were so important.
Every production, they are quite eccentric in the way they work.
It was great fun. Sheetal, of course, was, on tenterhooks.
What stands out with my interaction with Sheetal, again, I'll come back to the same point, is he was very clear as to what he wanted.
Summing up, I would like to take this opportunity, 72010 Network would like to take this opportunity to thank Guru Sir, to thank Devang, to thank every single person involved in the making of both these TVCs.
Okay, pack up. Okay. I think fair idea students must have got. Should we take questions now? Do we want to take questions? Because still I have not shown a lot of things, but it's already 12:10. Yes, Rima ma'am?
Sir, we can extend the time, that is fine. We can
okay,
watch
so
BCD1, the creative one.
Okay, you can play that. That's all the television commercials, the earlier brand commercials, Phenolex and...
Can I play that?
Yeah, you can play that. Go ahead, play that. Okay, do you have, what else, which else file do you have?
The gift in celebration and diversity and inclusion.
Yes, so diversity and inclusion, why don't we also see a corporate video? We can play that one. So that, yeah.
Yes.
Capgemini is one of the brands that we work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
According to a World Bank report in 2017, India ranks 120th amongst 131 countries in women workforce. According to the 2011 census, there were 26.8 million persons with disabilities, and the number is growing. So how are corporates in India addressing diversity and inclusion?
Diversity and inclusion at Capgemini is a leadership commitment rolling right across the group. As an organization, we have identified diversity and inclusion as a key priority area.
The biggest priority for us in Capgemini India is to translate our vision into reality through 360-degree integrated programs, right from recruitment to retention to development, and finally making sure that there is corporate awareness around all these programs.
Growth and acceleration for our women is a function of grade specific developmental interventions that we run. They are run across a BU, across geos, and at a group level.
Capgemini has made significant progress on diversity and inclusion in India. And today, 32% of the workforce is women and other diversity talent. With supporting policies and thoughtfully designed developmental programs, Capgemini's Gender Diversity India mission provides equal opportunity for women at the workplace.
The GOLD program has helped me deal with myself and deal with the everyday issues that crop up.
Emphasis was given on the overall development and attention was given to the minutest details.
At Capgemini, I really feel empowered and well recognized for my contribution.
The aim of the Fair Welcome program is to provide all possible support to women during this important phase of their life, which is pre, during and post-maternity.
I must thank Capgemini for its flexi work options, which helped me when I had to manage maternity and career growth.
Capgemini stands committed to gender balance with specific focus at managerial level. From a recruitment standpoint, we focus on women talent across diverse streams. One of them is the Career Comeback Initiative. We are conscious that many women have dropped their careers during critical life phases, and we are very keen on attracting that talent pool.
Recognition, accolades, and significant industry associations, along with several initiatives for gender diversity, do justice to Capgemini's Global Charter of Diversity and Inclusion. Capgemini in India is one of the few organizations that has been awarded the Edge Move certification for gender inclusivity in 2017.
We address any kind of harassment through our grievance redressal forum, and we believe in a zero tolerance approach towards discrimination.
So my name is Girish. Besides the business role, I'm also the male champion for the diversity agenda. I think above all, what we are also focusing on is increased participation of all the women folks in our organization, in every location, in all the activities that we perform.
Capgemini is committed to equality of opportunity and inclusion by ensuring dignity at work and a barrier-free environment for persons with disabilities.
Our unique approach to the inclusion program lies in the 4 pillars: accessibility, career development, engagement, and evangelism.
Capgemini's policy on inclusion ensures access to employment, self-development, and career growth opportunities with reasonable adjustments made for persons with disabilities.
I'm Pooja Herwadkar. I am a co-chair for our diversity and inclusion program. At Capgemini, our mantra is hiring for abilities and not for disabilities. We drive awareness within Capgemini for persons with disabilities by conducting different kind of training programs.
This program also looks at inducting candidates with disabilities.
Experience Zone is a walk-in activity through which employees can experience being a person with disability and can see how persons with disabilities work using assistive technologies.
Yeah. Want to pause it? Do we want to pause it? Because it's fine. I think they would have got an idea. Okay?
Okay. Yes, yes. I'll share the link in the chat box.
Yes, sure. Yes, yes. Everybody can watch at their leisure, so they can watch the whole thing, and okay. Am I like? I think there is a problem with my connection here. It's in between. It's showing unstable connection. Am I visible?
Sir, you're audible. Yes, sir. You're visible and audible
Am I
as well.
Okay, because there was some internet problem here. So anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else you wish? Should we see more, or should we like take questions if there are?
Any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm Shantanu Paknikar from TY. So,
Yes, Shantanu.
yeah, so I have doubt that when you're, making an ad film or when you're working on the project, when you're casting newcomers, what, elements do you see in those people? When someone is like fresher and they want to work in an ad film, how they can come up to you?
Okay, it's a question related to acting. It's a
Yeah,
question
sir.
for career in acting.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Like how we should approach you, or what elements do you see in us? And because there are lots of agencies out there, they're charging lots of money so that they can, give a chance in a film and all those things. But actually, how this works, we don't know. So I just wanted to know this.
Sure. So there is no what you call no other way to work but this, that you will have to first of all have your own, you'll have to prepare your own showreel first. If you want to act, then you'll have to learn a bit of acting, because even in an ad film, depending on what you want to do and what acting do you want to do, you want to be in the background, you want to be the main actor. So first you'll have to get into the field and learn that, and then prepare your showreel, just like you have a portfolio when you are going for a job. So similarly, if you want to approach an ad filmmaker or a production house like ours, and you want to act in something, we'll have to see your work. What will we look for in you? First, we'll see your work. That what is it, that how can you emote in front of camera? So that's a different discipline altogether. It's comes from the uh, filmmaking perspective. Acting is a different discipline altogether. So then accordingly, we will, when we are casting, we are looking at, when we are visualizing that what character do I need for this particular ad film, it will be based on um, whether it is humorous film, whether it is serious film, whether it is informative film, and what do I want you to do. Like, you come on the screen for 10 seconds. So I don't really have a direct answer to your question, apart from the fact that you will have to go through the process of having your work in a showreel form, that is your acting work, and then say that you'll have to come and give us your showreel. Then we will shortlist you uh, from all the people that we have, and we may call you for an audition. Next step is an audition. So then when you audition for it, then I can understand whether you know, if I need, like, I've written a script where it's a funny commercial, and I want you to act in the funny commercial, but you'll have to, in the audition, I'll give you that assignment. Like, I'll give you a dialogue, maybe a couple of dialogues, and then you'll have to. So it is a different thing altogether. But yes, if you are interested in that, then you'll first have to learn some basics of acting. Did that answer your question?
Yes, sir, yes. Thank you so much.
Students, you can also post the questions in the chat box. Yes, Julie, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask that in post production, like there are many softwares used. So which are the basically software used in the industry? Like might be it can be what you call Adobe Premiere, or you use it. Sir?
Yes, thank you, Zoe.
Yes.
Your question is a specific question to software. So
Yes, sir.
today in the industry, in post production, there are uh, many softwares used. Primarily, yes, you're right. For editing, a lot of Adobe Premiere is used. That is for the editing purpose, and for the visual effects and all that, we use normally Adobe After Effects.
Okay, and what about Final Cut Pro, as it is very huge software and a good software?
So Final Cut Pro, yes, Final Cut Pro is also used. However, the industry, what happens in the industry is there are a few years where one particular software trends and everybody starts using that software. So Final Cut Pro actually now has given way in most places to Adobe Premiere. Final Cut Pro, the years were a few years ago where everybody in the industry was working on a Final Cut Pro. So many
Yes,
systems,
exactly.
so many systems have, see, there are advantages of working on a Premiere over a Final Cut Pro, which is why today Adobe Premiere is preferred in many places. We use Adobe Premiere only. We used to use Final Cut Pro, but now we are using Adobe Premiere. So that
Okay,
depends.
okay,
Yeah,
sir.
that depends on it. Depends if you are comfortable using Final Cut Pro and you are comfortable with the workflow. Then of course there are production houses and post production houses where you have a Final Cut Pro also on the system, so you can use that to edit as well. It depends on your comfort. There's no golden rule that you have to use only one.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Sheetal sir, I wanted to request you something.
Yes. Sure.
Sir, you remember I told you, like, if you can just give them a brief idea about the agency structure, because like you explained me last time, it has changed now. Okay, it's
Sure.
not exactly what we study in books. It has changed and evolved a lot. So you can just give them a brief idea about it, please.
Sure. Sure. Yes. So typically, an advertising agency structure in the past was there were mainly two divisions. So one was the client servicing, which is what you all have learned, and one was the art and creative department. Uh, in these two, now what has happened is it has actually changed in the sense, evolved in the sense there are more things added. Client servicing remains. Today we have to have people who go to our clients and meet them and understand how jobs, what do the clients want to achieve, and you follow the same principles that you have learned. But today it's also about proactively being able to give them a solution then and there also. So in the past, probably how it has changed is, in the past, client servicing people used to come over to the office and then sit with the creative director and then say that this is what the client wants, and then we used to come up with a solution, and then they used to go back and present to the client. So so that has now become more open, as in the fields are merging now. So even, for example, today a designer, a art director and a designer who in the past used to sit in a studio and isolated, he used to work on the brief of the client servicing person and maybe not directly interact with the client. Today, that's not the case. Today, the designer also has to know about servicing. The servicing has to know about creative as well. Today, so the fields are basically overlapping now. That is how it has evolved. Otherwise, essentially, it remains the same, but you have to know about each other's side. In the past, you could make do with client servicing as a specialized field, and you only do that. And then, you come into the creative, and the creative does only that. So that is how it has changed. And then, yes, because of the addition of social media, so therefore, even in the creative side, the designer now has to be able to design a social media post, has to be able to design a book, or be able to design a brochure or a logo. So if you are looking at working in an advertising agency, you will definitely have to be a specialized, you know what you're good at, but you will have to also know about everything else. You can't escape from that today. And if you do know about everything else, then it becomes much easier for you to actually be more useful, because nobody has the time today. We don't have the time to train. We don't have the time. You have to learn and come, and you have to be flexible to say that, yes, I am, like, as a designer, you have to say that I would like to meet the client myself. And that has opened up today, at least with us, with our company, because we are a mix of everything. We don't work traditionally. There are advertising agencies today who are working also traditionally, but yes, much of it now has become more open than it was a few years ago. So I guess that is the precise change. It's become more open now.
Thank you, sir. We have few questions in the chat box. So we have
I'm
Rashmi.
just going through the chat
Yes.
box, but if you can just read out, because
Yes, yes. So we have Rashmi asking, she wants to pursue a career in content
content
writing.
writing. Yeah, okay, I just
And
saw
where
that.
should she start from? She is already into content creation. She has her own Instagram page where she creates content. But as a content writer, what all things she can do?
Sure. Yes, excellent, excellent. This is a pointed question. So, because you are want to look at content writing, what does it mean? It means that, first of all, what kind of content are you interested in? What do you want to create your own? Like you said, you have your Instagram, or if you have your own YouTube channel. So, how will you? Are you hosting a show? Are you hosting something? Are you sharing something with people, and you are writing your own script? So that is where you can experiment and explore writing your own script, and then be able to present it on your channel. You can also write, maybe do some writing as well. So it could start with blogs, it could start with let's say for example website content, it could start with anything that you feel strongly about. So your opinions matter. So what we see as a content writer is not just your vocabulary. One of the biggest things that we probably think as a content writer, that should I have great language, should I have should I use fancy words, should I the more words I use, the better content writer I become, or the better writer I become. No, it is not that. It is that what are you trying to say? So remember that what you can start from is, since you have asked where to start from, remember first clear in your mind that this is what I want to say. Then write it down in the way you would say it. And then maybe you can work on fine tuning the language. You can work on what presentation. For example, is it a, like today, when you are reading online, when you're traveling, or when you're on your mobile phone, you have seen the latest things which in the beginning itself it says 3-minute read, or it says 7-minute read, or it says 9-minute read. So roughly based on the number of words, we calculate the time required to read. And therefore, if you are a content writer, Rashmi, and if I'm going to be like seeing or evaluating your content, I will see how well you have expressed a thought in 3 minutes, because it has taken me 3 minutes to read. I may not be so impressed with your words that you have used. I may, if you want me to give my 3 minutes to your content, then it better be worth my time. So you have to be specific in what you are trying to say. So that is the most important thing for a content writer. That is where you start from. I hope I've answered the question.
Oh, yes, sir, you did. Thank you so much. I just wanted to share that I have started with a podcast. Like, I
Yes.
write my own script also. Like, I don't know
Nice.
if I'm perfect with it, but I would really like to share it with you. Like the link
Sure.
of my podcast. Yes, sir.
Sure, do
Thank
that.
you so much, sir. Oh,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes.
We have next question by Isha. So for a career in concept art and animation, where should I start? What are the portfolio criterias?
Yes. So, do you all have a animation specialization in your college?
No, sir, but we have computers and multimedia. We can just give the overview, but not a specialization. But I think Isha is doing some course in animation, if I'm not wrong. Isha, could you please unmute and answer sir's question?
I'm not doing animation courses. I'm planning to do, and I'm learning digital art by myself from YouTube. I also have an Instagram account. I post my digital art there.
Sure. Nice. So, to answer your question, a career in concept art and animation. Yes, animation is a specialized field, and you need to learn. Again, honestly, all the questions that you all will ask me will finally end with a similar answer. Is that first you decide it's not just the animation as a tool. Because if you have learned done your advertising art and mass communication and any of these fields, so remember that animation is a field, and it's a way to communicate a story, to say something, right? So first you decide what is it that you want to say, and then you use a software to say that. So in animation you will have to learn the software, which you are on YouTube. Everything is available. Self-learning is possible today. A lot of you all are already doing that. If you attend an animation course, great. They will teach you some basics of how to use the software. And then when you say concept art also, it has to do with, yes, like if for example I give you an assignment saying that I have a concept and please visualize it for me, and then maybe what you will do is you will either sketch it out if you have sketching skills. That would be one part of concept art. It could be also you can use a software like Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop to make some mood boards, what we call, and then show me that, sir, this is how you briefed me and this is what I think can be done. So that's the thing in concept art. It has there's no specialized training per se. It is how you take up a concept and visualize it, and how do you present it. So animation has got to do with how you use the tool to say what you want to say. And portfolio criteria, yes, if you show me a portfolio, I will also be seeing, okay, so how much of animation do you know? Like, have you done, like, are you telling me a 30-second small little story of, maybe a hare and a tortoise? So how are you telling me the story? What kind of animation have you used? Is it a 2D animation? Is it a 3D? So it gets into a different, animation is a different world altogether. But yes, net essentially, it has to be, um, what is your story, and how creatively have you used the software or the animation style to tell me the story. That is what is it should be your portfolio. If your portfolio only shows that you have animated, let's say you have animated a walk cycle, okay, or you have animated a 3D animation of a globe, it is okay. You can use the tool. I know you can use the tool, but I will probably look for what is it that you're trying to say. So how have you used it creatively to tell me a story? That is where I think you will be able to, your portfolio will have more weight. Did I answer the question?
Moving on to the next one, we have Anve who wants to know more about film editing.
Anve. What's the name? Anve.
Yeah. Anve, are you there? Could you unmute
Yes, sir.
yourself?
Yes, sir.
I
Sir,
think
it's
he's also
Anvay.
studying films. Yeah, he's also studying films. Anve, please proceed. It's better
Yes,
that
sir.
you guys only speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, I have learned film editing from Hollywood Film Editing Pro Institute, and I am pursuing film editing for the future. So, what's the view on film editing of yours?
Okay. Okay. You want to know what is my view on film editing as a career?
Yes, sir.
It is a fantastic career.
Okay. Thank
Fantastic
you, sir.
career. If you love editing, if you're, yeah,
Sir,
see,
I have my Instagram account, so I have posted film editing.
sure. Let me, if you can just send me the link. Okay. I
Okay,
won't
sir.
remember everybody's names, but
Okay,
you
sir.
can definitely send me the links, and we can discuss then. But yes, I have a good, you are in the right field. Film editing is a lot of scope. Today, films means, see, you only want to do feature films, because film editing means it's a very broad term. It could be also, I make a short film, right? I make a
Yes,
film
sir.
on my mobile phone, and you edit the short film for me. So that is also film editing. But if you're talking about film editing in terms of a feature film, yes, it's a big canvas. Feature film, if you want to edit, is huge. You can always try, and if you're lucky, you might get there also. Let me tell you all that though the scope for everything is great, um, it's so many people in the field, so much competition, so many of us. So how will you reach? How will you stand out? What will you do different? And all this will get you where you want to go. But it has good scope.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for the answering the question.
So we have Shravani and we have Ruchi also from ACD. Shravani wants to know, as a designer student, what specialization options do we have which have more scope?
What specialization options as a designer? So do you mean, like, do you mean, um, can you give me an example of specialization? I didn't understand.
Shravani, you're there. I think she wants to know because they are learning designing, graphic designing. So she wants to know what more specialization options she can do, probably career aspects or education.
So
I wanted to ask, what more options do we have? More scope in visualizer, illustrator, UX, UI. So in that way, I wanted to ask.
okay, so yes, UX UI is the uh, latest place where excuse me, latest place where as a visualizer you have a good scope. Remember that the basics remain the same for anything you do. Uh, if you are a good artist, digital artist, you know how to what you call, visualize, and you know how to execute. Let's say, for example, a screen design. Okay, it could be a mobile, it could be an application screen. Okay, so what is the user experience that you are trying to create? What is it that, like when I look at my mobile phone, do I easily know where to go? What colors attract me? How are you giving me very simple, big font size, one small vector visual? What is it that you are trying to, how will I remember your design? So there is scope, but again, it is depending on your what basics you have studied. And I don't think that there is less scope for one and more scope for the other. But if you see industry where we are heading towards, yes, interface and user experience is what is now much in demand, and that is where you will have maximum scope. Please understand that it could be everything from your own, let's say it's your own website, okay, or let's say it's your Instagram account, or it's your YouTube channel, or it's your own social media profile, which has a fantastic, you have given it a nice, you can engage with people. You are using the limitation of the application anyways, but how can you engage? So as a designer, it's not just about graphic design, though you are a graphic design student. So think like that. But yes, you can use your tools, and you can use Illustrator and Photoshop and all the basic tools to give a good screen design for UX and UI. I hope that clarified.
So it's like a completely new topic, sir, for us. Like we haven't studied before. So how would you start off with it? And I mean, like, what kind of job would you get once you have mastered or what? Like, it's very confusing to ask.
Okay, okay, no problem. I understood what is your problem. See, it's very simple. If you have a doubt like this, what you must do is sit quietly and sit on YouTube and search. You will have a lot of educational material available on UX and UI design. What is it that is a scope? Honestly, I will be telling you the same thing, which is there already available. But what you have to do is you sit through that, and then you see where you fit in. The idea is to see that it's a new field. Yes, what basics can you use that you have already learned? Design basics remain the same, isn't it? I mean, why should design basics change? If you're using Illustrator and Photoshop today to design a brochure, or to design a poster, or whatever else you're using it to design, then just the medium changes, right? You have a smaller screen, you have a mobile screen, you have an application screen. So what changes? Yes, you'll have to figure out how to make it look nice, how to make it look effective. And for more information on this, if you're confused, sit and go through the videos, and then you can, maybe what you can do is, whatever else confusion happens, you just note it down and search specifically for that. I'm sure you will get your questions will be answered online itself, because that is what at least I do. When I used to be like, I used to search through and learn for myself. It's very difficult for today for all of us to explain to the other person. There's a lot of self-study involved also. So don't worry, it's all there online. You can go through some videos from international schools of design. Good material available online already. I can conduct a separate class on this, which I don't want to do right now. Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we have a question from Jayesh. He says that he's doing digital art, and is it related to some scope in ad? Does it have some scope in advertising, digital art?
Yes, so there is, yes. Jayesh, yes, there is definitely scope. What is the scope? Now, if you want to know what is the scope, you'll have to first see what kind of ads are currently happening. And what are you doing? What digital art are you doing? Are you making illustration, digital illustration? Are you making a Are you making a
actually,
GIF?
I am
Are you making a GIF animation? What is it that you're?
actually I am making illustration, logos, and posters.
Yeah, so why not? Why not? If you're designing logos, if you're making illustrations, um, see what happens when you ask for scope is it's a question which is like, for example, let us say I'm designing an ad tomorrow. Okay, if I'm designing an ad tomorrow on a let's say it's a recruitment ad, okay, and I'm looking for people. I'm looking for a recruitment ad and I want your expertise. I'll tell you that give me an illustration of a person who's standing upside down. So you will use your digital art, right? You may visualize however you want to, and you will give me an illustration which I will use
Yes, sir.
as the visual in my ad for a recruitment ad. If I have a whatever ad I have, so it depends on who is designing what ad and what is it that you can do in that ad. So when you say digital art, maybe I need an ad. I want to place an ad which is a GIF. It's a GIF animation. Okay, so let's say I want to show a book that opens and birds flying out of the book. Okay, it could be just a graphic of a book opening and birds flying out. It could be a GIF animation of 3 4 birds flying out of the book. I can use this in my ad. So you will be doing it for me, right? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so if you go to see, there is whatever you have learned now, you have to figure out who do you approach that I can do this. And for that, you will have to see the advertising. You'll have to see that who is advertising where. Today, most of the advertising is online, right? You are seeing banner ads. Okay, I'll just give you a example. Is that today with an emailer, there is an emailer signature. Okay, there is an email signature. I hope everybody knows what's an email signature. It's a small little banner that comes at the base of if I'm sending a mail, it's there and I'm reminding somebody what I do. So let's say, for example, it's a 72010 mail that I'm sending somebody, and Jayesh, I want my logo is a man pushing the globe. I already have a man pushing the globe. Now you give me some creative solution in a small banner size that the man does something with the globe. Okay, if you can do a GIF animation of it, and I can use it in my banner. So that is also how you can uh, give me a illustration to use for my email banner. So these are different places how we have evolved from mainstream advertising into these smaller little things on mobiles and email and social media as well. Okay, can we take other questions?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have Ruchika's question. She's working as a journalist, and she also has a subject called as photojournalism. So she wants to know more about it because since you shared the case study where you spoke about photojournalism, so if you could just throw in more light of how and the career prospects and everything.
Yes, so I touched upon photojournalism because of the coffee table book that I showed, and yes, today uh, because of the extensive visual applications available like Instagram. Now, for example, Insta, you have everything on. You have reels, you have stories, so lots of scope for preparing a photojournalistic story. So pick up one topic and make it into a story. Where I'm coming from is that, let's say, for example, somebody tomorrow has a coffee table book requirement, and you can always present yourself as a photojournalist where you will be able to story tell or create a photo story for them. So it could be any cause. It could be somebody. It could be, let's say, for example, what are the simplest things I can think of is, let us say, 150 years celebration of a college or a school, or 100 years. Some brands have completed 100 years, so they would want to compile everything, and they would want to maybe show how what is the impact of their work. So you have to travel and you have to do some photography, and it's spread over. They are spread over India, and lots of people who have benefited from what are their services. So you could actually make photo stories on each one of them, and then they can be given as part of the book, like what we have done. So that is another. That's a place. That's the easiest answer I can think of. And yes, there is. If you're a photojournalist and you have studied journalism, then you become again. You have a double advantage, that you have researched into the story, you have understood what is it about, and you're a photographer as well. So um, you can really do wonderful things, and you could actually have your own channel and own profile, which more and more people would like to see, because if you're telling a story via photographs, why not? I would love to see. I think people would love to see a story on the go, that they don't have to read too much text, and that's what photojournalism is about. You'll have to tell a visual story.
Okay. So last two questions. We have Nivedi who is asking about, she is doing animation course, and if you could just explain in short what is portfolio criteria, like what are the portfolio criterias?
Sure. So Nivedi, it is what you are expected is, yes, what software do you use to animate?
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah.
I'm studying
Yes.
VFX course,
Yes.
and basically I'm familiar with softwares like Premiere Pro, After Effects, Illustrator, and Photoshop.
Okay.
Yes.
So After Effects, yes, After Effects, you can have your animation, which is more on the what we call broadcast design, where typography, you can animate type, you can give effect to images, and animate. It is more of a broadcast. It's less of animation. Actually, animation, when we say animation normally, and when you're doing an animation course, it's also about being able to, let's say, for example, character animation is something that is required today. And then you have ready-made tools also today, which you
Yes,
can
sir.
use creatively for creating characters and animate like anything uh, which gives me, if I'm going to recruit you, Nivedi, and if I'm seeing your portfolio, I will see that how good you are. I'll ask you how much time do you take to do this, you
Okay.
know so then I'll ask you that, like, are you familiar with um, again, the storytelling part of it. It's not just like I may give you a storyboard and you may only animate it. Like, for example, if you're using After Effects, let's say I give you a storyboard, and then you can definitely see my storyboard and say, okay, I'll put this here, and I'll animate it, I'll use the tools and animate it.
Yes.
But what is it on your own? Do you are you telling me, showing me an animation of 30 seconds with a story? That is what will make you different from the others, because everybody will use tools, right? Just imagine that
Yes.
10 people are who cannot your use of After Effects might be better than my use of After Effects, but I might be a better storyteller. So uh, please look at it from a overall perspective, and portfolio will have, you can show me your expertise in animating and tell me that, sir, this is only my animation expertise. Then you tell me that, this is, sir, I have told a story here. So build your portfolio like that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Okay, we have last question by Rujuta Samant from ACD department. She says that, so earlier you said that agency era has changed. So what are the skills expected from a fresher, especially in designing, as the competition is very high nowadays?
What is ACD?
Advertising communication design.
Sorry. Sorry. Uh, Agency era has changed. What exactly in agency experiment fresher like us? Competition is very high. Can I joke a little bit? It's too serious.
Yes,
I've controlled myself. I've not cracked any jokes at all.
of course, sir. Please feel free.
So Rujita, you need a lot of luck. You need a lot of, you need to be blessed by God. But I mean, on the serious side, again, competition, yes, competition is high. What is it that a fresher, see, I will, since we are also recruiting and we're looking at freshers, don't worry. What I will see is, I will see that, are you, first of all, are you clear of when you present your work? How clear are you? And what are you showing us as a work of a fresher? What assignments, what have you done in your studies that you're showing us? And the clearer you are about what you have done, that is a differentiator for me. Okay, I can speak for us. What will the other people see? Will they expect from you? People can expect that you know an inside, you know, you are a good user of a software. As a fresher, what is it that is your advantage? You are a fresher, you have learned software, so how fast can you use it? Do you know all the tools in the software? Like, supposing I give you an assignment for a test, when you are giving an interview as a fresher, and I give you a test, and I give you 2 hours to execute the test. So how much can you do in 2 hours using an Illustrator, or using an InDesign, or using Photoshop maybe? So what can you show me in 2 hours, which shows me, tells me that you are very good in your software usage, and somebody else who's come after you for the interview may not be as good in software. So what is the competition? Both of you all have applied for the same job, and you know to use the software better than the other person, and your skills you're clear in your mind as well. So maybe you will score over the other person.
So, but sometimes happens that I'm very good at theme creating, but I'm not good at softwares. And if someone else is very good at softwares, but he's not very much in creating theme, then what will be the result?
That's why I said, no, so difficult. How can we have a mathematical thing? Because it depends on what I'm looking for. No, I'm looking for I already have two people who are good in themes. Maybe I'm looking for a software person, unfortunately. So there's nothing wrong with you. You are good in software, so you are good in software. And let's say I'm looking for a person good in software. So it depends on me, right? It doesn't depend on you. You are doing the best you can. And you have landed up in a job application where I'm looking for a theme designer. Oh, brilliant! You're good in themes. I will give you the job. But I'm looking at software and I find somebody else who's better in software. I might give that person a job. So don't worry. Net, don't worry. You concentrate on what you are good at and present it accordingly. That I'm good at this. And see, the best part is that you have said you know what you are good at. That itself is a big thing.
Okay.
If you know what you're good at, if you know what you're good at, is brilliant. Yeah? Why? And you know what you're not good at. Oh, it's even better. You will be able to get a job easily. Don't worry.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Are we done?
Yes, sir. That's all questions we have. Any other questions? Anyone?
Can I just
No
finally
questions.
put a final word?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
please.
yes, students, all those who are still there on the in the webinar, those who came and went, I hope that it was worth the time. I know that it was a session full of information, and I hope that even the most basic or students who are still learning at least could make some sense of what I was speaking. And please understand that I am from the industry and working after 30 years, and I'm not a teacher. I'm not one of your teachers. I am an industry person, and I'm trying to make myself understood, but by being simple. But if in places you didn't understand what I said, I have to I have to say that next time I will try to be even more simpler. But for those of you all who did understand and who did take something from this, I think I have given enough tips, and my notes were designed accordingly so that you get a macro overview. It's a tip of the iceberg, like we said in the beginning. So that's my concluding remark, that I wanted it to be good for everyone who attended. Thank you again, Rima ma'am and Mala ma'am as well, all the organizers of this webinar, all the students who were patient, and my family as well who's attending, and my 72010 colleagues who are on call. Uh, Last but not the least, the Ayodhya, I forgot to add in the Ayodhya film that you all will watch on YouTube. Please do watch it. The music has been done by Sur Sanskar, has been done by my wife. Himangi ma'am she conducted a ghazal workshop, I think 2 weeks ago. And Himangi ma'am has done the music for the film, and it's amazing music because that is what has been appreciated. So we have a lot of students who are learning music with us, and uh, that also is I forgot to add when I was showing the film. So compliments to them as well. And yes, I hope that you will call me again and with another topic, and then we
Yes,
can
sir,
that we can
definitely. In fact, I just had a topic in mind because since many students were asking about portfolio creation, so I just wanted to, I was just thinking if I can call you, how advertising students can prepare their portfolio and then upload it on LinkedIn as well. Since it
Sure.
is very important, LinkedIn is a very important source today, and I think we can also have a webinar on portfolio management and creating portfolios,
Yeah. Yeah.
for advertising design. Sir, I take this privilege to thank you. You have been very patient. You have answered each and every questions. There are so many things that I have learned today. I mean, so I'm very sure my students have learned a lot from you. You have really been very patient answering each and every question. You have not just explained, but you have demonstrated your work also. So thank you very much, sir. It was really great listening to you, getting your experience, sharing your experience. In fact, I would rather say, I'm sure my students are going to learn a lot and see they are already sharing their work with you so that you
Yes.
can give them a feedback. I think, sir, they can approach you on LinkedIn. I've already
Yes.
shared your LinkedIn profile with them. So, students, if you have any doubts, sir, is it okay if they reach out to you on
They
LinkedIn?
can absolutely reach out to me, like Sanjay and Akshay are also on the call, so their LinkedIn profiles also they are there. You can reach out to any one of us. If me also, you can reach out to directly. It's okay. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I'd request Akshay and
Yes.
Sanjay sir as well as to share their LinkedIn profiles with me so I can forward it to the students.
Yes.
Or if there is an official email ID where the
Official
students can
email ID.
approach.
I'll send it to you, Rima ma'am. Okay. And then
Okay,
you can
okay,
forward it
sir.
to the
Thank
student.
you. So, thank you, sir, and thank you to the entire team of 72010 Network. It is you're doing a great work, and we would really love to meet you offline and have a session with you offline. And just like we enjoyed Mrs. Hemangi Paknikar's session also, and we enjoyed your session as well. It was very interactive. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Paknikar, also, your father. He's also been listening. So thank you, sir. It was great to have you. We are blessed to have you and, gracing our webinar. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you. Thank you, students, for being interactive. Have a great weekend. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.